Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me.
Hey guys, I am back for another video, and today I'm going to be talking about detoxification, and particularly I'm going to be honing in on kidney and GI tract health. So these are topics that I've talked about a ton on my channel, and they're things that I want to continue to talk about because we live in a society where a lot of people, myself not excluded, are having, genetic weaknesses in the kidneys, and then from, whatever crazy diet we ate growing up, it just really clogs up the GI tract, and it's really a real thing. So a lot of times people think that they're having regular bowel movements, be it once a day. Sometimes people just going once every couple days is normal to them, or even twice a day. But that doesn't mean that you have pounds of latent matter, we'll just say, in your GI tract. And so how you know this is not everyone wants to do this, and that's okay. Different strokes for different folks, but go get a colonic or even do an enema in the privacy of your own home, after not eating all day, and see what comes out of you, and you will know that we are full of it. You could say, I love that saying, but it's really true. Sometimes people really are full of it. So what we really need to do, and this is what I love doing and what I've been doing for a long time, because I myself used to not be healthy, and I had skin problems and GI tract issues for one, and it was all linked to what I was eating, and I wasn't moving. Sometimes if you don't exercise, you get backed up. I have noticed that when I do more core exercises, I have better digestion. That's because you're moving it, So look into doing that, but a lot of people are just clogged, and eating more fruits and vegetables, which are full of living fiber, living water, living enzymes. It just goes in the body, and they're like GI brooms. They just go in and they clean. And I'm not saying you can be clean overnight or even a week or even a couple months. For a lot of people who are particularly backed up, with mucoid plaque, etc., I think it can take years. And it just kind of is what it is. You have to pay the piper. And if you have been living for years and years without following the laws of nature, then you have to pay your debt to nature. And it just is what it is, but it's ultimately a good thing. And so if you start eating clean, and in my opinion, clean eating is, abstaining from animal products and grains, and eating as much raw living foods as you can, you might experience some healing crisis. And what is a healing crisis? Well, I'm going to bring out my book. So this is the book I've written. It's called Get the Glow, and I have a whole chapter on detoxification in it, and in here I speak about healing crisis. So I'm just going to read you a little paragraph here. When you're experiencing several uncomfortable detoxifications for a specific, often short amount of time, it's called a healing crisis. What causes these is when the body tries to get rid of toxins faster than the body can handle. It is easy for the body to get overburdened during detox. Enemas and colonics can help speed healing crises along. They only last a few days typically, but they can sometimes last a few weeks. During a healing crisis, it is of utmost importance to rest, drink plenty of alkaline water and raw juices, and eat primarily water-rich organic fruit. If you can fast on just water, this may help your body get over the crisis sooner than if you ate large amounts of food. If your detoxification symptoms are completely overwhelming you, an option is to slow down or even stop your detox. Cooked food in its nature is not detoxifying at any level, so I would recommend eating some steamed vegetables or a vegetable soup. And that's what I mean by that is if you are having a severe healing crisis and you want to pump the brakes, then eat a little cooked food. But I'm not saying go eat your mom's souffle. I'm saying steam some broccoli or some zucchini, something really pretty benign in its steamed nature. I love raw foods. I think that they're at the top of the echelon, but steamed organic vegetables, or eating a salad with, some steamed sweet potato maybe, I really don't think that that's going to overburden your body to the point of getting toxic like it is if you eat the standard American diet. So the point is that if you want to reach the highest level of health, you don't want to be tired all the time and you know, take time off from work because you're sick, then eating raw vegan or just vegan, eating more fruits and vegetables today than you did yesterday. I'm always a proponent of doing that, and that will help your GI tract. Now let's talk about the kidneys. Everything I just said applies to the kidneys as well. They can get backed up. Some people even get kidney stones. And when you have kidney stones, first of all, let me say I'm not a medical doctor. I always say this. I try to say this in all of my videos. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not trying to give medical advice. But what I can tell you is what I would do. Well, so if I had kidney stones, I would stop and I would tell myself, because I've researched this so much in the natural health world, if you have kidney stones, you know right then and there you have kidney weakness, probably genetic, but it's also combined with the fact that you've probably not eaten the best throughout your lifetime, possibly overburden your body with alcohol, sodas, toxic processed foods, particularly processed meats, are really hard on the body, and just overeating meat in general. I don't care if it's antibiotic free, free range, grass fed, all of that stuff, it's still super hard on the body, and particularly the kidneys. That being because it is super high protein, and yes, we live in a society that is absolutely obsessed with eating too much protein, and look where we are. We're all sick. You know, people are experiencing health issues that don't need to be. So high protein foods like meat are hard on the body, and meat is also really, really acidic. So when you constantly eat acid forming foods, your body gets out of sync, and the kidneys take a burden of that, largely due to the fact that they are the two organs that filter the lymphatic system. And I love speaking about the lymphatic system because it's entirely fascinating to me. And so the lymphatic system is the giant sewer system of the body. And so when the body gets toxins, they get dumped into organs like the liver, but also the kidneys. You know, they're an eliminative organ, so toxins get flushed to the lymphatic system, and then they go out through the kidneys and through your urine. But if they're backed up, you know, your kidneys have little nephrils in them, and if they get clogged, for lack of a better word, then you start getting disease-like symptoms, and one thing you can get is kidney stones. And so kidney stones are, when you go to a medical doctor, often they will, if you ask, they will say you can't dissolve them. There's really nothing you can do until they pass. I have heard of procedures where they go in and try to break them up, possibly with a laser. But I would just, you know, if I was telling a good friend or a loved one, what I would say is you can absolutely dissolve kidney stones. And how you want to do that, or how I would do it rather, is I would drink a ton of raw living juice. Juicer over here. It's not completely hooked up because it's part of it's in the dishwasher, because I juice a green juice every other day and it's always in use. But drink raw living juices, particularly lemon juice. Lemon juice is really, really good to break up, you know, acidic bonds, and that is essentially what a kidney stone is. And also just drink a ton of fluids and water-rich organic fruit. So if you're experiencing kidney stones, you know, salads are all great and gravy when you're not in a, you know, crucial health state, like if you have kidney stones. So I would put myself on strictly raw juices, tons of alkaline water, raw coconut water. The processed coconut water I don't really get into. I like the raw living coconut waters. Or just crack open a coconut and drink that, you know, and eat the meat too. And organic fruit. So we can dissolve these things. We can dissolve, you know, the mucoid plaque in the GI tract and just release it. Let it go. And just realize that detoxification is real, and if you start experiencing negative things like cold and flu-like symptoms, mucus just really breaking up, because these fruits are astringent and they start breaking up mucus, which we have all in our body. It's not just in our sinuses. So you might have mucus come out of every hole in your body, and that's totally normal. It's okay. I remember when I first started detoxing for an entire 3 months. I remember the summer. Every morning when I woke up, I almost used a whole Kleenex box full of tissues because I was just releasing mucus. And looking back, how beautiful is that, you know? I spent a whole, you know, 21 years not following the laws of nature, but you can fix it. And once you start following the laws of nature and eating raw living foods, your body will release and you will go through detoxification. So don't get held back by constipation and GI tract issues. Just realize that it's a learning moment to start making better choices so you can live a better quality of life, because that is what I'm all about, is having energy and loving life and not being bogged down by some stuff that's in your colon that you can easily get out. So that is my video. If you want to check out my books, this is Get the Glow, which is a in-depth guide to raw veganism, and then I also have a recipe book called Down to Earth Raw Vegan Recipes. Head to my website, which is victoriarawvegan.com. I also do iridology analyses. If you're interested in peeking inside of your body and seeing your strengths and weaknesses, seeing, you know, your genetic constitution, if you will, then look into doing that. It's really, really fascinating, and I love iridology a lot, and it's a very useful science. So head to my website, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
They said I won't be nothing, now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changing, look we made it. Yeah, we made it. They was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah, but I know I had to have it.